What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Darren Dulles. I am a golf content creator, a PGA certified instructor, and a professional golfer. And I wanted to give you my tips, my secrets on how I can shoot around and under par every time I play golf, no matter if I'm hitting it good or bad. So nothing swing related, all course management related. So I just want to give you my tips and tricks that I use to play better golf. So let's get started. So we're going to start at the tee box, and there's three aspects that I focus on that help me get the ball in play in a good position most of the time. The first thing I focus on is committing to a shot, one shot shape. I want to make sure when I go up to a shot, I am not doubting if I want to hit a fade or if I want to hit a draw or where I'm aiming. I pick the shot and I commit to that shot because this is going to allow me to have a wider fairway. If I'm aiming up the middle and kind of guessing which way is going to go, well, then I have half the fairway. But if I can aim up the left center and hit a fade, my fairway is wider. And if I commit to that shot, most likely I'm going to be able to make sure the ball moves in that direction. So I have more room for the ball to move offline and still be in a playable position, maybe even be in the fairway. The second aspect is I want to make sure that I have conservative targets. Yeah, there's a perfect spot for me to put the ball in every fairway, but we all know that I can't hit the ball exactly in that spot every time. So I want to give myself some wiggle room. And what I mean by this is I try and find the spots on the fairways that's the widest. The example I like to use is hole 3 out here on our Loch Ness course. I could hit driver way down there and I'd have a flip wedge in or so, but it brings in bunkers, it brings in more water, the fairway's a lot tighter. So I like to hang back a little bit and hit it short of these bunkers where the fairway is much, much wider. It allows me to try and focus on which side of the fairway I want to be on to have the best angle into the hole, but it gives me way more room for error. Because again, we know you can't hit it perfect every time, so you want to have some room to make a mistake and still be in a playable position. And the third aspect off the tee is I am able to swallow my pride. What I mean by this is I understand that taking driver on every single hole is not always the best. Good example on this is hole 4 out here. It's a drivable par 4, but driver always isn't the best club for that hole. I might not feel comfortable over the tee shot, or maybe the pin's in just a horrible position for driver, making the chip really hard. Then I have the ability, I can swallow my pride and I'll just hit iron off the tee and have a wedge into the green. Basically, doing that is taking away the huge number. I'm not going to hit it out of bounds. I'm not going to hit it behind, like in a bush or anything. It's taking out the huge number. But if I am feeling confident, the pin's in a good position, by all means, I want to hit driver and try and give myself the best opportunity to make birdie. But again, if I don't feel confident or the pin doesn't make any sense to hit driver, I'm able to swallow my pride, and that's how I can save some shots just off the tee. The second part is the approach to the greens, and for this there's two aspects that I really try and focus on. The first thing is to make sure that I always pick a comfortable shot for me. And it might not even be the correct shot. There's some greens that you set up to and it looks like it wants you to hit a fade into it or looks like you want to hit a draw on it. But the biggest thing for me is to pick a shot that I feel the most comfortable in. So if I step up to a hole and it looks like the green wants to receive a draw, but I'm feeling fade all day, I've been hitting fades all day, that's the shot I'm going to go with because that's the one I'm most comfortable with. When I start picking shots that I'm not comfortable with, that's when you get some bigger dispersion. You start hitting it poor, not hitting it where you want to. You just don't have as much confidence going to it. So you want to make sure you're picking a shot shape and a shot you are comfortable with and confident with. In the second aspect, just like the tee shots, I pick a conservative target. And I do this based off of distance, where the penalty is, and how confident I am. And to explain this, basically, if it's a really short shot, I have a lot of confidence and there's not really any trouble around, by all means, I am aiming at that pin, trying to knock the stick down. But if I'm farther away, if there's trouble near the pin, if I'm not feeling really confident, then my target gets farther and farther away from the pin, more in a much more conservative spot. So I'm hitting 5-iron and there's water right, not feeling confident, pins on the right. I'm not aiming at that pin. I'm aiming left of it because I know if I hit a poor shot, maybe I block it and it goes right at the pin. Sure, that's cool. And if I pull it, I'm still in a fine spot. The biggest thing I always want to avoid is playing aggressive when you're not feeling confident. That's when you get big numbers, you're going to shoot big scores, and you're just going to be mad at yourself because you knew you were going to hit a bad shot and you still picked the super aggressive line. So again, conservative targets based on distance, where the pin is, where the trouble is, and your confidence level. So if you're feeling confident, it's short, not really much trouble, fire at it. Just knock that stick down. But if you're not, play a little more conservative, get away from the pin. Your goal is to have putts. If you can hit the greens, have more putts and less penalty strokes, you're definitely going to shoot lower scores. And the third part is the short game. The short game is a huge part of the game. It's amazing how much pressure it takes off the rest of your game if you feel confident around the greens and on the greens. So this is why I like to spend a lot of time, most of my practice time, on the short game, on the putting green, and with the wedges, because it really saves your rounds. If you're feeling confident on and around the greens, you don't have as much pressure when you're hitting shots into the green because you feel okay if you do miss the green. And also the short game, it helps build momentum and it helps conserve momentum, if that makes any sense. If you're playing a good round and you happen to hit a poor shot into a green, you can get up and down and keep that momentum going, that good feeling, like you didn't really waste any strokes. Yeah, you hit a poor iron shot, but you made up for it with your short game. And vice versa, if you're hitting it really poor, but you can get up and down, it helps kind of build up some momentum. You feel a little more confidence with it, so on and so forth. The worst thing ever is just your short game is struggling, you don't practice at it ever, and you're playing the round of your life, you're hitting all these greens, and then finally you miss a green on 15, and you're going, oh crap, how the heck do I not make bogey or trip or double on this hole because I have no confidence in my short game. So this is why I practice short game so much. No matter if I'm hitting it good or I'm hitting it bad, I have the confidence that even if I miss a green, I still have a chance to make birdie or par, and I'm definitely not going to do anything stupid that's going to cause me to make a double or worse. So short game is a huge part of the game. Definitely want to spend time doing that. So that's the end of the video. If you're wondering what I shot on this 9 that I just filmed, I'll put the scorecard down here. I ended up shooting even. Honestly, I didn't even hit it that good. I hit one behind a tree off the tee. I missed a lot of greens. I just wasn't exactly flushing it, but I was able to score fairly well, shoot even par, just by using the tips and tricks I talk about in this video. I was conservative with my targets. Because of that, I was able to miss it in reasonable spots, and because I practiced my short game all the time, I was able to get up and down from these reasonable spots. So take everything that I talked about in here and transfer it into your golf game. Again, it's not nothing, you're not changing anything in your golf swing, you're not changing anything in your techniques. It's just simply manage your way around the course better. So even when you're not hitting it very well, you can score better. So again, use everything I got here. Shoot lower scores. You're going to become a better golfer. Your average will go down. You're gonna beat your buddies more often, even when you're not playing good. And they're gonna hate that, and you're gonna love it, and you're gonna bring home the bread. So, if you liked the video, you learned something, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. If you're looking for a one-stop shop, everything short game related to help you improve on and around the greens, I got a short game program for you. If you want to watch more of these videos, click here. If you want to subscribe, click down here.